subscribe. Hey guys, it's Marsha. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. I really appreciate it. Today I'm going to be making chicken parmesan egg rolls, my style. If you have a different style, that's cool, but this is my way or the highway. Just kidding. So, fresh chicken breast is what we're going to start off with. My favorite, bean sprouts. And this is like a coleslaw type mix. I seen it on Food Network. And then cilantro and fresh spinach. This is everything I'm stuffing it with. And then I have eggs just to seal the outsides of the egg rolls. And then I actually went to a Oriental place to get these egg roll wrappers. This is a different brand I usually use from what I usually use. So hopefully it turns out great. It's like, no, it turned out great. And then I got this soy sauce from the Oriental place as well as the sesame oil, which is really good. I didn't even know it was that good. They're my favorite green spoon because I just love green. And then the shaved Parmesan cheese because it's chicken Parmesan, so you have to have Parmesan. So then with the chicken, I'm going to season it with the seasoning salt, ground black pepper, minced garlic, and parsley. So after I already cleaned the chicken and everything, I'm going to season it to my likings. Like I told you guys before, I like to see my seasonings. I don't just, a lot of like Food Network places, they use like salt and pepper and that'll be it. That's never been me, so I'm not about to fake it with you guys. This is what I usually use. I like my food very flavorful. I'm sorry. I like it very flavorful, so I want to make sure I can taste it for the most part. I don't like bland food, so this is what that is. And then having a little malfunction here with the pepper. It went out in the middle of me putting it on there. But then I'm going to add the parsley. I'm not really sure what kind of taste parsley actually has. I haven't really had it plain. But I just know it makes food look good, to be completely honest. So I'm going to turn in the sesame oil, fried. The bottle wasn't open. The top wasn't open. Fry my damn self. Excuse my French. So I used about 4 or 5 capfuls of the sesame oil. And then I'm going to just move the skillet around so I can saturate the entire bottom with the sesame oil in order to cook the chicken. And once it's preheated, I put it on 3. I'm not really sure how you guys' stove is, but I put it on 3. And once it was preheated, I placed my chicken in there. Never mind my son in the background being all in the fridge because he's hungry. So this part of this recipe has to be the most time-consuming part, other than actually cooking the egg roll. So like the prepping process for the egg roll is not that bad at all. Because the vegetables are already, it's not like I had to cut up any vegetables or anything like that. So this is the most time consuming part. And I believe it took me about, I want to say like 15 minutes to make this chicken. Yeah, because I had it on 3, So if I would have had it a little higher, it would have cooked quicker. And it probably would have dried out all of the flavoring. But I really wanted to let all of that flavor, all of those flavors stay with that chicken. You know what I'm saying? And just keep it tender. Keep those juices. So as you can see, it still isn't done yet. It's not done enough for me. I want to see a little brown on it. So I'm gonna place the top on the skillet just to help it cook a little faster because I don't have all day and I know y'all don't have all day. I just got off work. I'm tired, so I get it completely. I just want to post a video soon, you know. I'm trying to be consistent here. So this is how I like my chicken, my grilled chicken. I like the little brown, the light golden marks on my chicken. That's how I can tell that my chicken is done. And of course, you can always cut in between the chicken and make sure that there's no pink. So once I take this chicken out, I'm gonna keep all of the flavoring in here. Only because I still have to make the vegetables and that sesame and that garlic. I want to keep all that flavor. Wouldn't you want to? Oh my God, y'all gotta know how good it smelled in the kitchen. Oh my God. With all of the sesame and garlic and spinach, like, oh my God. It smells so good. If you guys were here, you would be so happy. But it smells so good. Like my kids kept coming in the kitchen like, Mom, what's that smell? It smells so good. And I usually don't even like the smell of food. And I know that may sound crazy. But like in my house, I never like the smell of food. Like I just always, always, always want like that fresh linen smell in my house. So for me to like the smell, you know, it has to really smell good because I hate when my house smell like food. I'm not sure. Am I the only one that feel like that? Comment below if you feel like that too. Because I don't like that. Like I hate leaving out the house smelling like food. Oh my God. My grandma when I was younger, I'm using garlic salt to season the spinach, the fresh spinach with. But when I was younger, my grandma used to cook soul food all the time. I lived with my grandmother, me and my cousin, and she used to always cook all this food, like just soul food stuff, like pig feet, all type of stuff, and I never ate any of that. But like she would cook that all the times and greens and all of that. So I was like, I would be addicted to like spraying myself before I went to the school because I didn't want to smell like food. I used to be so irritated. Like I used to like open up a window or I would have my window open. Let me tell y'all one thing, not to cut this story off, but let me tell y'all one thing with the spinach. I swear you can have like a humongous bag of spinach and you try to cook it. Once you cook it down, it shrivels up and it looks like one piece of spinach. No lie. No lie. So that's why at first, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but in the beginning of the video, I had so much spinach inside of that bowl. And it literally turned into like 3 little pieces almost. So I had a hard time like separating that to make sure it was enough on the in the egg rolls. Let me get this spinach off the stove. But as you can see, it still got some flavoring on here. So I'm gonna add the bean sprouts. The bean sprouts doesn't take long at all to cook. I say it takes about 5 minutes. If that. I'm not even going to cook it that long because like you guys should know already because I've said it several times, I don't like my vegetables overcooked. I barely like them cooked, so. So I'm just letting this cook on its own, really. And then I'm going to add some of this soy sauce just to give it a better, more of an oriental flavor. If that's the word I'm looking for. So I was going to add some of it because I feel like I didn't add it on anything else. So I just feel like I should just add it on here, on the veggies. Especially the bean sprouts. Like what's bean sprouts without soy sauce? And y'all know what these bean sprouts are, right? You know the little stuff, of course, that's always in the spring rolls and the egg rolls at the Chinese restaurants. But I actually eat these plain. Like, seriously, when I used to go to this Chinese place back in Waterford, it was called Wonton Palace, the best place. She used to always make everything fresh. She would make me some fresh bean sprouts on the side, and I always, always, always get extra bean sprouts. So if you guys are ever out with me, like when I go to Thai restaurants or anything, I always say, hey, add some bean sprouts, extra bean sprouts. They are so good, and they're really good for you too, actually. Really good for you. So when you guys are pulling out the egg rolls, you want to be super careful because for one, they stick together, but they're also paper thin. So be really careful. Don't just be yanking it apart and rushing. I know I was kind of rushing, but I'm also like very careful when it comes to that because you can rip it and that's it. You're going to throw the whole egg roll away, egg roll wrapper away. So I'm going to take some of these out so it can already be out and ready so I can start cooking because I'm tired. I've been at work all day and had to go to the grocery store. I'm just really tired. So, yeah. So with the eggs, I'm going to crack the eggs. And with the eggs, I'm only using the eggs to seal parts of the egg roll. So like just to close the egg roll, I'm going to use some egg yolk to, just seal it. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell y'all. So once I was done cooking the chicken, I had actually put it in the oven. I'm sorry. I am so tired. I'm sorry. I had actually put the chicken inside the freezer and let it cook. Let it cool off. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. My dad be throwing me off. He just came over. He just threw me off. I'm sorry. But when I put the chicken inside the freezer to cool it off. So then when it was time for me to, once I was done making everything else, it would be cool enough for me to just rip it apart like I'm doing now. Like to shred it into small pieces. You want some? I always feed y'all every time I make something. I promise. So I'm just shredding these into small pieces. I know my sister said she usually, the way she shred her chicken is with a fork. I don't really know how to do that. So I'm just using my hands. Why not that? My hands are clean. So I'm going to beat the egg yolks. Okay, so for starters, you're gonna put some egg yolk on 3 sides of the egg roll into like a triangle shape type thing. So in the corner in the middle, on the left and on the right. Then add your fillings for the egg rolls. So first I added the chicken, then the bean sprouts and the carrot mix, and then the fresh spinach that we sauteed, and then the shaved Parmesan cheese. You can use however much cheese you would like to use. I really didn't use that much this time, to be completely honest. It was kind of like a rush job today. It was still really good though. It was really good. My kids really enjoyed it. But I didn't add as much cheese and everything as I usually would have. Okay, so for starters, we're gonna pull the top down and then pull both sides together. So pull the top down, pull both sides together after touching every piece with some more egg yolk, and then just tightly rolling it, keeping every piece together, just tightly rolling it. And it should look like that. And this is just to show you guys again. I'm going to add the egg yolk again in each corner. This is just a slow motion because I know the first one was kind of fast. But I'm gonna, so pull the top part down with the egg yolk at the tip of it. Pull the left side over or right, whichever. Pull the other side in. You have to look at it to see it. And I'm gonna turn it around for you guys can see a little more. But then you just gonna pull it in together and roll it as much as you can, as tight as you can, but don't rip the, the egg roll wrapping. Still be very cautious of that, considering it's super thin. And it should definitely turn out like this. It's very easy to roll. Mine is not perfect. Like I said, I was in a rush. But you get my drift. Like if you have the time and the patience, you can roll them perfect. And they all came out like that. And as you can see the yellow stuff on there, that's the egg yolk. See, it told me, okay, so for the egg rolls, I usually deep fry it, but I didn't feel like turning on my deep fryer and going through all that and having to clean it and everything after. So I just put a lot of oil inside of my skillet, which I really should have put it inside of like a bowl or something. I mean, not a bowl, a pot. That was crazy. But with these egg rolls, you want to turn it every 15, 20 seconds because you got to make sure every part gets cooked and distributed, with the heat. Same amount of heat all over. So you want to keep rolling it. And you're going to just do this until it gets as brown as you would like it. So you're just going to keep turning it over as much as you need to till it's brown. As you can see the little bumps where it's getting hard, and then it's going to start getting the color. Let me tell y'all something. In the midst of me doing this, I think I cut that part out. But I almost burnt, almost caught this on fire. Let me tell y'all. Because I put too much oil in here. I had to pour some of the oil out when I was making the rest of the egg rolls. Because some of the oil came out on the side, and I have an electric stove. So, like, some of the oil came off on the side, and I seen, like, a little flame, and I was so scared. But this how it should look, though. Like, you can make it a little darker than that. It's your preference. But you gotta, this is the most time-consuming part because you have to keep turning it. You don't want to leave it alone for too long, and you don't want to leave it on one side for too long. So, literally, every 15, 20 seconds, not minutes, seconds, you want to keep turning it. Keep flipping these egg rolls. And it should turn out like this. I hope you guys enjoyed my show.